Welcome friends, growth hormone part 4, applied aspect of the growth hormone. Objective of today's lecture, applied of the growth hormone. We will start with the panhypopituitarism, then we'll see the dwarfism, gigantism and acromegaly in detail. So let's start with the panhypopituitarism. So pan means whole. So decrease in the all the anterior pituitary hormone, so that is known as panhypopituitarism. It may be due to congenital or in adult life. In adult, mainly due to craniopharyngioma or chromophobe tumors which press the gland, or due to thrombosis of the pituitary vessel. Now what is the effect of this panhypopituitarism? Or decrease the secretion of the all anterior pituitary hormone. So mainly hypothyroidism, decrease in the glucocorticoid level, decrease in the gonadotropic hormone. So person may be lethargic due to hypothyroidism, obese because the lack of fat metabolism by the growth, adrenocorticotropic or adrenocortical and thyroid hormone, and because of less secretion of the gonadotropic hormone, loss of all sexual function. So this is in brief the clinical feature of the panhypopituitarism. Probable treatment, except for the sexual function, we have to give thyroid hormone and adrenocortical hormone. Now next, the hypersecretion and hyposecretion of the growth hormone. Now in the childhood, if there is a hypersecretion, here I mean before epiphysis fusion, that is known as gigantism. Gigants mean giant, more in height, something like that. So the name is given gigantism, increase in the height. So during childhood, before epiphysis fusion, because of hyperactivity of the gland which secretes the growth hormone excessively, lead to gigantism. Next is the hypoactivity of the gland which result in the dwarfism in the children, which is the main topic we will learn here. Then Bright or mixed type of the abnormality, we will brief you about this. And during adult, A for adult, A for acromegaly, means hyperactivity in adult after epiphysis fusion, that is known as acromegaly. And hypoactivity, though it is rare, and that is known as acromicria during adult life. So during adult life, excessive growth hormone secretion, that is known as acromegaly, and hypoactivity, that is known as acromicria, which is very rare, where growth hormone secretion decreases after epiphysis fusion after 20 or 25 years. Now we have learned that this, try to understand this terminology. Brichut, it is same like Levi-Loren type of dwarfism, we will see later. Plus there is a excessive fat deposition in the body, round chubby face, no beard mustache, excessively sleepy, and lazy nature, so slothful nature. In the mixed type, fatty body, hairless, supraorbital ridges prominent, and other clinical feature of the acromegaly. And some dysfunction of the acidophil cell may develop pressure symptom on the neighboring structure and seen hypopituitarism along with the acromegaly or gigantism. But even if you just remember the name, that's enough for me. Now we'll start with the dwarfism. Dwarf means decrease in the height. So either there is a deficiency of the growth hormone or decrease in the secretion rate of secretion of the growth hormone, or you can say growth hormone releasing hormone from the hypothalamus is deficit, or decrease of the growth hormone. Obviously sometimes both are normal, but IGF-1, somatomedin C, or insulin like growth factor 1 is decreased, or maybe due to mutation in the growth hormone receptor. So these are the basic molecular level problem. One more, Levi-Loren dwarfism or Laron dwarfism. Another name is growth hormone insensitivity. So Levi-Loren dwarfism or Laron dwarfism or growth hormone insensitivity, mainly seen in the African pygmy, where decrease in the height, adult having height of around 4 feet. Now here there is a specific reason. Growth hormone concentration is normal, sometimes slightly increased. Modest decrease in the growth hormone receptor. But main problem is with the decrease in the IGF-1 or somatomedin C. This failed to increase at the time of puberty. So mainly during puberty time period, there is increase in the height of the body occur, which is mainly under influence of this IGF-1 or somatomedin C. But here in the African pygmies, though growth hormone level is normal, but fail to produce normal somatomedin C or IGF-1 at the time of puberty. So there is a decrease in the height, and that is known as Levi-Loren dwarf. The other reason for the dwarfism is the constitutional delayed growth, malnutrition, very important factor, panhypopituitarism or hypothyroidism. But when there is a hypothyroidism and dwarfism due to hypothyroidism, in that case there is a presence of mental retardation. But when dwarfism is purely due to growth hormone deficiency, mental retardation is not present, so IQ is there, right? No problem with the mentation. The other reasons are the gonadal dysgenesis, then the psychosocial dwarf or Kasper-Hauser syndrome, because of the abuse of the child, physical, mental, or neglected child, and achondroplasia. Here there is a mutation in the gene code of the fibroblast growth factor receptor 3, which is mainly present in the brain and cartilage. So these are the some causes of the dwarfism. Now the clinical feature of this dwarfism. So we are knowing that dwarf means decrease in the height. Okay. So almost 10 or 12-year old boy have a body development around 4 to 5 years. And if you look at the 20-year-old boy having dwarfism, physical development look like 8 to 10 years. So in two-thirds of the cases, they can't pass through puberty and never secrete sufficient amount of the gonadotrophic hormone for the adult sexual function because of the reason of the panhypopituitarism. Here, as I mentioned, no mental retardation like cretinism. Now, dwarf with pure growth hormone deficiency, if treated early, then complete recovery is possible. Now, in one third of such dwarf, however, only growth hormone is deficit, then person do mature sexually and occasionally may reproduce. Occasionally may reproduce. And though height is low, but there is a proportional growth of the soft tissue and the bone. So there is a proportional growth. But in case of the hypothyroid dwarf, there is a cretinism, there is a disproportional growth. Soft tissue growth is more than the skeletal growth. So that is the basic differentiation point. Now the treatment. So we have discussed so many causes. So first treatment will be the identify the cause and treat the cause. And if there is a growth hormone deficiency, you can give growth hormone, recombinant DNA technology, E. coli, and give this synthetic growth hormone. If there is a panhypopituitarism, treat it. If there is any other cause like malnutrition, then you have to treat accordingly. That's why identification means diagnosis is very important. Gigantism. Gigant means very big. Reason acidophilic tumor, hypersecretion of the growth hormone, but yes, before fusion of epiphyses. So increase in the height up to 8 feet. Hyperglycemia, 10% of the patient of this gigantism will develop diabetes mellitus, insulin resistance. They also develop panhypopituitarism because this acidophilic tumor grow continuously till destruction of the pituitary gland. So whole pituitary gland is destructed, and as a result we have a panhypopituitarism. And if the hyperactivity continues throughout the life, even after the epiphysis fusion, there will be combination of this gigantism and acromegaly. We will learn acromegaly in later slide, but there will be combination of the gigantism and acromegaly. Now what is the basic treatment? So basically we have a tumor, so you need to remove this tumor either by the radiation or microsurgical removal. Next is the acromegaly. Now acromegaly reason increased growth hormone secretion, right? But after A4 adult, right? After epiphysis fusion, after epiphysis fusion of the long bone with the shaft. And if growth hormone secretion start suddenly, then person definitely cannot grow taller, right? Because epiphysis of the long bone has already fused with the shaft. So person cannot grow tall but continue bone thickness, osteoblastic function and soft tissue growth. So soft tissue means all the body organ like liver, pancreas, kidney, everything. Bone thickness. So size of the hand and feet almost double. And the membranous bone, particularly the cranium, nose, the forehead, on the side of the forehead, above the supraorbital ridges, there is term they use bushes of the forehead. There is enlargement of the supraorbital ridges. Lower jawbone protrude almost half an inches, and vertebra, because the growth does not ceases at adolescence. So in vertebra there is some abnormality. Now the forehead slant forward because of the excessive supraorbital ridges. So supraorbital ridges become very much prominent, and as a result forehead will be slant forward, right? Then the size of the nose, just like hand and feet, almost 2 times. So almost gorilla like appearance. Foot size of almost 14 number. So need to manufacture a shoes from, or he has to give order for the shoes to the cobbler because 14 size is not available. And because of the overgrowth in the vertebra, there will be a hunchback or kyphosis. And as I mentioned, soft tissue enlargement continuous. So enlargement of tongue, liver, kidney, pancreas. So every organ will be enlarged. So organomegaly. Other clinical feature, because it is a local tumor, it presses the optic chiasma. So when it presses the optic chiasma, there is a visual field defect. There will be presence of headache and ultimately bitemporal hemianopia. So sometimes there is a presence of bitemporal hemianopia in present of acromegaly because there is a compression from the tumor to the optic chiasma. So some sort of blindness. On pulmonary system, sleep disturbance, and also there is a enlargement of the tongue which also contribute. It increases the basal metabolic rate and there is a sweating. On the other endocrine function, there will be hyperactivity of thyroid gland and other hormones. On the male reproductive system, loss of libido means loss of sexual desire. Impotence means erectile dysfunction. In the female, you can say menstrual irregularity, sometimes sterility, incomplete breast development, or persistent lactation, that is termed as lactorrhea. So these are the other. Now the treatment part for the gigantism and acromegaly, almost same. Both are tumor of the pituitary. So removal of the tumor either by the microsurgical removal or the radiation is the best, though one can use somatostatin analog where surgery is not possible, that is octreotide and other drugs, or one can also use the growth hormone antagonist. About the growth hormone applied aspect. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan.